Now, one of the things you'll also notice in there is that you've seen little snippets, and you've seen some hints from teasers that we've shown at conventions before, is that there's also a little bit of supplemental footage that was done, also to tie certain scenes together. So this will essentially be a news story that'll fill in some behind-the-scenes gaps within the Robotech universe. So we're really happy to have this project come together. We're really glad to have Mr. Frank Catalano be available to reprise his role as Rand, one of Carl's favorite characters, or Carl's favorite character. And here's actually a little bit of the work we've gone into to create some of the extra scenes that go into this OVA. And one of the things we were very adamant about is even if we use the newest digital techniques in terms of producing some of the new footage and animation, that it fit organically with the original 80s look. And even more so than you would say with Shadow Chronicles, which was technology that we had worked with several years ago. So this is something we're very much looking forward to. So for you guys who want to find out the latest and greatest in terms of Robotech and the happenings within the Robotech universe, you can check us out online on our Twitter page, which is twitter.com/RobotechNews. We have a huge Facebook page, and every few weeks we actually give prizes away to the fans who are members of our Facebook page. So join up and you'll get a chance to win some prizes. And if you're into having your own Robotech avatar, you can create one with this custom app that we have written for our Facebook page. If you're into the super deformed theme. So you can export your character too. Yeah. So thank you very much. Actually, we're going to open things up for questions. Kevin here is going to referee here, and
yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Robotech mystery box packed and filled with Robotech prizes. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. You ask a question, you get a prize. The better the question, the better the prize. How many missiles there are in an Alpha Fighter is not a good question. You will not get a prize. So, who wants to win some prizes? Let me see you. All right, right here, sir.
Okay, with the ebooks coming out, I was wondering if you guys were thought of doing the audiobooks for those.
Audiobooks. What about audiobooks?
That's actually a very small market. Audiobooks, we actually looked into this. Audiobooks do well for self-help categories. How to lose weight, how to feel better about yourself, and so forth. But for entertainment, people either will read the book, just the generic ebook, or they just want to watch the movie. So yeah, we did look into it.
In the red and the blue in the back.
Are there any plans to make any more Robotech video games?
Actually, Warner Brothers Consumer Products actually really wanted those rights really bad. And so they actually have those rights right now. And one of the reasons is that for any large project, video game project, those are going to be expensive projects. And they want to make sure that they ride on the coattails, they tie into a major movie release to take advantage of the marketing.
All right, sir, with the black and yep, Indy.
Okay, regarding the recovered music from the Sentinels, were you able to recover the track that plays when the Invid are launching their attack on the Master's homeworld? It's a very intense, high tempo.
Is it the one?
You mean the one that goes da 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 da?
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one that starts like kind of sounding like Rocky?
It
we got that one.
Yeah, yes. I've been wanting that one forever.
And I was listening to that and wondering, how in the hell did we not get
it starts. Yeah, I know.
Actually, excuse me while I actually go back through all these. I think I had it and I must have mistakenly not played it.
Yes!
Yes,
thank you!
Okay, just real quickly to that, we found a reel in which there was a ton of music that was written for the rest of the entire Sentinel series that was never used. So we actually found a lot more music than we expected. Stuff that nobody's ever heard before. So yeah, we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge.
All right, with the gray hat in the back. Yep.
Is there plans for a Blu-ray release?
Okay, one of the things, they asked for this for the original Robotech series. Right now still, the DVD market is still the biggest for stuff that was originally mastered in HD, such as Shadow Chronicles will continue. We'll work on releasing more Blu-rays of those. Now for the original series, one of the things we're trying to overcome is the cost. It was originally remastered in standard definition, and it was not done in progressive video, it was done in interlaced video. So if we do a proper Blu-ray remastering, it would have to be a new progressive picture done from scratch, from the beginning to the end. It will be a very, very expensive process. Right now the costs are very high. We're waiting for that sweet spot to hit. Because one of the things that's also the case is Robotech was shot on 16mm film, not 35. And so one of the things we get when we blow it up is we get grain from the original film stock in the picture. So we're trying to overcome that as well. So we'll get to that at some point, but we're waiting for the costs to hit the right point where we can keep it affordable for consumers.
Sir.
Masterpiece toys are great, good detail. When do we get to see a Masterpiece SDF?
Yes.
Okay, at the 155 scale, the SDF. Does anybody have a calculator? Okay, I'll be very, very straightforward about this. One of the reasons why Toynami hasn't hit the SDF-1 yet is they try to produce their toys in the order of what toys can they take advantage of all the variants first. And so the VF-1 had the most variants, you know, the red version, the blue version, the red version, the Roy version. With the Beta Fighters, they still had some variants, but with the SDF-1, there's a lot fewer variants. And so, you know, unless you want to have the girl version, like the pink SDF-1, I don't think that's going to sell so well. That's a little bit lower on the totem pole in terms of Toynami's to-do list, but it is something that George wants to do, because internally they did do a sculpt of the SDF-1. They just haven't gotten around to figuring out how to produce the toy numbers where they know they're going to make the money back.
Sir. Or, I'm sorry, you, but yes. What's your name? Okay, Dominic, what's your question? What is Frank's favorite Robotech character? What's your favorite Robotech character?
Well, Rand or Frank? Well, actually both. Rook.
You know, that was a great question, so I'm going to give you a Shadow Chronicles 2-disc DVD. How's that sound? Yeah. All right, let's see over here. Sir, you have the glasses, yep? Yep.
Following up on the Shadow Uprising, are we going to see any new ships, any new designs, any new, like, new ships? I'm going to see a 4, but...
Yep.
All right, next question. In the back, with the green, we're all green, but yes, you.
Yeah, now that Warner Brothers has the rights to Robotech, since they have the copyright, is there a possibility or a threat that they might re-release Robotech as they have with all their other series? Like they re-release Batman, they re-release everything in a different series. Is there a possibility we would probably see Robotech Warner Brothers edition or something?
I would not see that as a threat. I would actually see that as a good thing. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter how it's available. You know, the more Robotech we have out there, the better it is.
All right, wow, so many questions. Sir, the glasses. Don't actually behind you. You, sir, yep, you. Oh. This always happens to me in this room. Every time. This happens to me before. My apologies.
Now you know
It's-
you're surprised.
This is why we have the mystery box to pry it out. I'm so sorry. What is your question?
Are you guys ever gonna consider maybe like making both a DVD and CD like a pack sort of thing? Like a mega box?
How about I give you a Robotech CD, a Robotech DVD, a Robotech calendar? While we're at it, just to make sure while you watch and read all this stuff, you have a Robotech SDF3 coffee mug powered by Protocol. Thank you. This always happens.
That's usually at the discretion of the publisher. Sometimes, like ADV did that when they were doing Robotech Remastered. They would pack in toys. They would have little transforming toys packed in with the DVDs as a bonus set. And it just depends on what they find is the disposition of the consumer at the time. If they're into all that, they'll make it. But right now, one of the things A&E found is that right now, with the current climate, people are very price sensitive. You know, if they want to get it, they'll all buy it separately. But people are now going into Walmarts and big box stores because they want to look for a good deal. And that's why, you know, this last, everything all in one nice little box, but just the DVDs, you know, did well. So that's kind of the focus right now at the moment.
In the camo hat.
This is for Frank. I'm one of those people that have the iPad. Is your book available in e-format?
Oh, yeah. My book is on Kindle, it's on Schmindle. Yeah, it's on digital, absolutely. And there's a new version available. When the publisher published the book, there was a couple of little things they left out, and so they've agreed to make that change. And there's maybe now it might already be out. A new version of the book. It's slightly different. It fixes the stuff that they messed up. But yes, to answer your questions.
In the cat.
Oh, thank God, not so heavy. This isn't so much a question, it's okay if they don't get anything. I just wanted to say that when I was very young, I started with Robotech with my family. I watched it every Sunday on PBS. And I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work on that, giving me those experiences with my mom and dad.
Thank you, and your arms will be heavy to carry on the heavy artillery battle hawk. All right, in the hat. Yep.
Regarding the soundtrack, you said you have more than 3 CDs worth of audio now. So just want to confirm that's a 4 CD set now, and then also.
Actually, it's looking like it's going to be more than 4.
Okay. Will you consider like bonus DVDs, including all of like the high quality audio of the stems, so fans can remix the stuff themselves and have some fun with it?
That's kind of a.
Well, that's something we might consider, maybe just for 1 or 2 songs. Kind of like, what was it? Trent Reznor, he released one of his songs with all the stems so people could make their own remixes. You know, we might do maybe 1 or 2 songs in the future, but you know, that's a big maybe. But at the very least though, one of the karaoke versions of songs that was most requested was everyone wanted to play Together for their weddings.
Yeah.
They wanted a karaoke version so that they could have a live singer sing it. And that actually we have now. So.
All right, in the white shirt in the back.
Yeah, will they release Macro 7 or Macro Remember Love on DVD or not?
It took us a long time to get the licensing for the Do You Remember Love merchandising rights kind of cleared up. We know that there's still some contention in Japan between the people who have the different pieces of the Macross rights in Japan. I think especially as we got a large partner like Warner Brothers working on the live action version, we're hoping that maybe eventually this will all fall together and a lot of this merchandising will eventually be able to be worked out. Because our attitude is, it's kind of like Gundam. There's so many different Gundam universes, and they don't even fit that well together. But the fans, like it. It's more mecha for everyone. And our attitude is that there's a lot of really good storytelling in that. And even if the Macross universe and the Robotech universe have common grounds in their beginnings, and they split and they form their own parallel universes, kind of look at it as the J.J. Abrams version of Star Trek versus the classic series. It's just two different interpretations of similar universes.
Because like 2 years ago, I wanted like bootleg version of that.
Don't worry, we won't report you to the FBI. Though Steve reported other people to the FBI recently. What was that?
Oh yeah.
Because
Anyways, go ahead with your question.
because I know it's owned by Emotion. Is that true?
Emotion is a division of Bandai, and within Japan, Bandai actually has the merchandising rights for Macross. And so if you buy a Bandai branded product from Japan, then it's legit, you're good. The stuff that they have is Macross 7, the most recent one is Macross Frontier, which continues off from the, yes, go ahead.
Also, the Macross Zero, what's new with that one?
Oh, that's a prequel to the old Macross. This is like Roy Fokker on, and looking for what was before Macross Island, or in that universe they call it South Alitalia Island.
But to just make it more clear, basically the two companies that created Macross in Japan are arguing over who has international rights over Macross, and that's the reason why we can't license Macross outside of Japan at the moment. So until those two companies come to an agreement, no new Macross can leave Japan legally, until those two companies come to an agreement. So that's the situation we're in.
Way in the back, in the corner, waving the big gap.
With all these new things coming out, that's a lot of stuff. Is there going to be a compilation, all the DVDs and the soundtrack and the extras and everything like that, just in one thing?
Well, for the DVDs we have that. The A&E set is so far the most complete set to date. In terms of soundtracks, we will do that. We are doing it piecemeal as the work is being done on different aspects of the Robotech music that we find. But when we're all done, rest assured, you're going to get a giant box with a slipcase with all the different soundtracks together. So we will get there. But we found that this approach of having it in pieces, because we have so much material, is better for the music releases.
In the yellow.
Hi, in terms of merchandise, are you going to have more selection of wall scrolls? Because there tends to be more of the new generation
We did that for a while. Funimation had been doing merchandising for that, and they had been licensing wall scrolls to different companies for production. The sales really weren't that big because we found, this is one of the things we discovered, in the wall scroll and poster market, when you go out there to anime cons, the majority of the stuff out there, unfortunately, are bootleg. So, yeah, that's why it's actually kind of a tough market right now.
Sir. Yep.
You said you would release the beta fighters. When Superman and BS30 Alpha fighters don't have the matching betas. So I want to know what time would you be releasing those beta fighters? And do you have interest in having a Rook Bartley advance your cyclones?
Okay, for the Shadow Beta, I think Toynami will have a date locked down probably around Comic-Con, because they're soliciting it right now. They're gathering interest from the retailers at this moment. So by then we should have a solid date, if they don't have a solid date already. In terms of the Cyclones, that was actually a tough one, because that was one of the reasons why Toynami actually put the brakes on making more Shadow Fighters, is because the Cyclone had more parts than the Beta Fighter, and it was even more expensive than the Beta Fighter. I think it was like a $200 toy. Wow. And so when that toy actually came out during the middle of the Great Recession, actually what happened was the US units sold okay, But in Japan, they were having a really hard time selling the units. This was the Japanese partner in Japan who was working with Toonami. And so they decided, in terms of those, just the same thing as with the Beta Fighter situation. They're probably going to wait until the market picks up again.
That part would be Aoshima?
Oh yeah, Aoshima. Aoshima actually had a tougher time selling their units in the Japanese market. Because of that, I think they're probably just going to hold off and wait until the market turns around.
In the gray. Yep.
Is the Sentinel ebook going to come out?
We're working on more stuff with Del Rey. Stay tuned.
All right. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Sir.
Question for Frank.
Yes.
What's your fondest memory of working with Carl?
With Carl, a couple of things. I have a vision of Carl in some studio at Harmony Gold eating a tuna sandwich and editing at the same time. And Carl had the unique quality. We did a show together after Robotech called, oh God, what was it? It was Captain Harlock and Queen of 1,000 Years. Are we still calling it? 2 series. So Carl's there eating a sandwich and he's blending these 2 things and he says, "Oh, you're gonna do the whole thing." And I was a writer on that one as well. And the second thing is, Carl and I saw each other over the years, and I spent some time at Warner Brothers, and I have a collection of scripts from an old library that Warner Brothers acquired, and they threw them out. And Carl and I were going to publish them. We used to get together and plan it, and we always thought we had a lot of time, and we didn't. So those 2 memories of Carl.
Actually, I have a little interesting story just to add on that. How many of you are aware of Captain Harlock and Queen of 1,000 Years?